Hi, and welcome to Candid Low Code. Candid Low Code is a new vidcast series we're doing here at Mendix to talk about the things that our customers and employees care about most right now. Today, I am joined by Russell Martin, a senior solutions architect in our go-to-market team. And we're going to pick up a conversation that Russell and I had on customer portals. And we're going to talk a little bit more about being practical and pragmatic with customer portals. My name is John Scalamero, and I am a manager of architecture and governance here at Mendix. So, hi, Russ. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, John. How about yourself?
Not too bad. I'm glad the weather is super nice and
Yes.
getting to getting to finally enjoy some spring and summer. So that's good.
Yes.
So Russell, we had a really nice conversation the last time with you and David Kuhn around customer portals and why they matter. And I'm really excited to have you back here on Candid Low Code so we can actually show what that looks like. So you have a presentation for us or a demo for us. So why don't we go ahead and start with that?
All right, sounds good. So let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to kind of walk you through a little value prop of why customer portals are helpful and how Mendix can fit in each one of those processes and provide some value to your organization.
Today's going to be practical, right? So we're going to show how we actually do this.
Correct. So what we'll do is we'll walk through the portal, show you how to add a new tile to the page to direct to another Mendix application, and how easy that configuration can be to set up, as well as using some of the reusable components inside the platform. Once I log into the company portal, you'll see a standard dashboard that you'd see in most portals, right? Now, this portal that we logged into is actually built inside the Mendix application. So what you'll notice here is we have multiple tiles available. We have one for weather, which when I click that tile, can take me to the weather page. I also have the ability to go, say, for example, check out stock prices. I can also click to check some data analytics. So this will take me to an embedding of a Tableau report within the Mendix platform. So we do have the ability to pull those complex reports into that process or that portal as well. We also have an onboarding app. So think of the portal application development team being one, the
Oh
onboarding
yeah.
development team being two, as well as other
Uh,
applications that are being built. They can then work within their own projects without affecting the overall portal and very easily expose those to be created inside the platform or inside the portal. We also have an application that was built from an HR perspective. So this is where I, as an employee, would be able to go in and track my progress towards my yearly goals. How am I meeting those? Again, this is another Mendix application just to show you the difference in what you can do styling wise with using CSS or SAS behind the scenes.
So can I ask a question? So in
Mhm.
your experience, have you run into customers who've exposed external portals? So that way, instead of it just being internal facing, but they're actually external facing
Mhm.
and combining applications for their customers to use?
Yep. So what's nice is the platform itself can handle both internal or external. And what
Okay.
could happen, we see a lot in the internal process is we're integrating with some type of single sign-on, right?
Mm,
Whether it's a SAML type of protocol to allow for the employee to bounce through all these different applications to not have to sign in and remember multiple usernames and passwords. Same version being if I wanted to create an external user, right? If it's a different type of application, I could come in, I could have my account, my orders, my current processes. There's a way to create one both for internal or external users, just depending on what you're looking to accomplish.
oh, neat. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and go to the actual part where you add a new piece of functionality.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to show you kind of how we added this report tile here. I didn't touch on that for a reason, so we're going to go back into what we call our Mendix Studio Pro. This is where I create my pages, my microflows, which is the logic in the platform. So for example, what you see here is kind of our dashboard, right? I'm going to go ahead and click on the edit mode. Now what's nice is you'll see that each one of these sections is made up of multiple containers. So there is what we call a tile or a building block that has been created. So I'll walk you through how this thought process would work. I'm a developer on the portal team. You'll see that I already have multiple building blocks in place, which are
Mhm.
really just a container wrapped around an image, wrapped around with a link tied to them. Now, what's nice is you'll see here on the left side in our Project Explorer some already existing building blocks that have been imported into the platform. That could be accomplished in multiple ways. One, I could have the reporting team that's making the new application. They could create a new building block, upload it to the App Store, and then it could be available for either public consumption or just in my private App Store, anybody within my organization. And they can very easily click into that and import it into the project. Or they could also expose a file on a local file server somewhere in my network. And all I'd have to do is go ahead and right click and import that building block. Or what we also find happens is that in a base application, they'll already have a bunch of these building blocks or what we'll call UI components already pre-baked into the template. So that way, anybody in my organization from business all the way down to the technical team already has these components available to use. So the way that those would work is you'll see that we already have these tiles in place. I could go ahead in here and I could right click, I could add a widget, I could go through adding in the container, adding the image, and adding the links. Or as I mentioned, I could use that building block. So I can go over to my toolbox. You'll see I have all these widgets available out of the box, or we
Mhm.
have building blocks that we've now created for our own. I select and drag and drop that building block, or in this case, tile, onto the page. You'll see that now it has that report icon that we want to use and the report link. And where this
Yeah.
building block would have come from would have been from the reporting team that built this application. It's another Mendix app. So that when I would go ahead and redeploy the application, that link would now be available and actually take me to that external application that was built inside the Mendix platform.
Okay, so while you're bringing that up, let me ask a quick question about that. So what you're saying here is that you basically had another team, or you could have another team build a piece of the portal or an app that you want to embed in the portal, and then they could just wrap that thing into a building block and put it up on an app store. And then anybody else, including on the portal team, can come in and drag and drop that building block into their own application for use,
Correct. So
right?
they make that part of their dashboard. So you could see weather external, stock prices external,
Yeah.
analytics an internal Mendix app, onboarding an internal Mendix app, time entry external, a third party tool, performance a Mendix app, and in this case, a report being a Mendix app. So we're able to create that portal and pull to all different apps. So in this case, if I click on the reporting page, what this application is a just basically a reporting dashboard, right? In this case, I'll go ahead and click region. What I'm going to do then is type in that I'm looking to see the North region data using the autocomplete widget. And then on this page, you'll notice there's 6 different options of reporting is on the page. We have your bar chart, your line charts, your pie charts. And also to point out, what's nice about this application that you see here is it's actually using REST services to consume data from external services inside my organization to populate these charts. So it's not all data contained within the Mendix app. It's just another example of how the Mendix platform can pull in all these different sources, all these different applications, and create a single user workflow or interface for your team to use.
So let's go ahead and wrap up with one last question. And that is, so the last time you, David, and I talked, we were talking a lot about value and customer value. What are some of the areas where you see this ability and this functionality being valuable? Let's connect it back to some stuff that our customers are actually doing and where they see that value.
One being that I can create multiple styles of applications in a single platform. I have the flexibility to very easily integrate and consume different applications or services. I can create building blocks or UI components. I can do the same with the microflows or the logic inside the platform as well, can be shared just as easily as we did with those building blocks. I'm now allowing my development teams to work without interfering with each other in the large monolithic application. They're able to work in small agile teams against their own timelines, and when they're ready to release that to the portal to be updated. And that's just some of the what we'll call user value. That doesn't even
Mhm.
get into the topics of where our applications run, how they're flexible in any cloud, items along those lines as well. But we'll stick to kind of the customer and employee experience with this one. And as you can see, I could enable my business users to create their own business portal. IT individuals can create complex applications somewhere else and easily expose those to be consumed by people in the business without them needing to understand the details of what's happening in that team.
Yeah, I think there's something here to be said about the value of the digitization journey that this has
Mhm.
because, it allows different parts of the business base to be able to come up with their own ideas, their own solutions. And regardless of how those get delivered or deployed, I mean, ideally we'd like them to be done on Mendix, but regardless of where those come from, they can be brought together in a consistent manner, and in a way that gets those solutions into the hands of the right people in the organization, but does so in a way that's secure. And we didn't touch on it here, but
Mhm.
all of this is driven through security, right? So you can definitely tie access to these different things back together. And you mentioned it with the SSO part.
Mhm.
So that's really, really nice. Anyway, Russ, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us. Again, thank you all for watching out there. And if you have any ideas, suggestions, or things that you'd like us to touch on next, please let us know down in the comments. All right.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you, everybody.
See ya.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like more Candid low-code content, please go to video.mendix.com or our YouTube channel. If you have ideas for new Candid low-code videos, please let us know in the comments below.